In this video, I'm going to attempt to take my last few years of print-on-demand experience and sum up 15 of the most common questions, misconceptions, and quick tips for all Teespring sellers. Yes, this is going to be a rather quick video. However, these 15 points are very important, so by the end of this video, you should be able to walk away with some very valuable takeaways. Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Greg, and I like to talk about online entrepreneurship. I've been selling on Teespring and other platforms for quite a few years now, and I'm just trying to share some helpful resources to help you guys out. If you're interested in this type of content, feel free to look around the channel and consider subscribing. As mentioned before, I've been selling on Teespring for a few years now, and I have learned a lot over that process. Now, if you are starting out on Teespring, this is going to help you a lot. Even if you've been selling on Teespring for a while, this will still be valuable for you. So without further ado, let's get right into number one. Number one is a very common question that I get from people who are creating a storefront on Teespring. Now, if you guys have been following my videos, I always recommend a storefront. I'll talk about this further in this video. However, the question is, how do you remove the duplicate styles of the same design in a Teespring storefront? Now, when you are going to see this is when you upload a design, you put it on different styles, and then you put that design into a storefront. By default right now on Teespring, when you put that design into the storefront, it's going to separate it into different listings for each one of those styles. So you'll have your t-shirt version, you'll have your long sleeve version, you'll have your hoodie version. However many different styles you put that design on will be separately listed in your storefront. This is obviously not ideal because when someone goes to your storefront, they're going to see all the same design on different items. The way that you correct this is not very obvious, but here's how you do it. You go to the Storefronts tab, and then you go to the little edit icon that is on the storefront you want to edit. And then you go to products, add products, and then uncheck the ones that you do not want to show up. Now just know that if you leave in just a t-shirt, for example, with the design on it, when someone clicks on that t-shirt in your storefront, it'll bring them to the full listing where you have all the other styles available. So don't feel like people are going to miss out on the hoodie version of it if you don't have it included in your storefront. Number two is another common question with not many answers out there about it, and that is if you have different variations of a design, how many should you make and when should you make them? So for example, for this, if you have a design and you want to make different variations of it that are very similar because that design's selling well, how many should you make and when should you make these? So the simple answer here is I don't recommend doing this in the beginning. Now, if you have a design that's a quote and then you have a slight variation of it, you don't want to be making a bunch of different variations in the beginning because if you don't have your trust score set on Teespring, it's just going to look like spam to Teespring. Now, creating a lot of designs is fine. Just make sure that they don't have the same title, they're not too close and similar in the beginning. Once you've got your trust score and you start to get sales on your account, you will know by looking at your statistics, your analytics, of which designs are selling best. Now, if you see that one design starts to sell really well, then I recommend creating up to 5 variations of that design. If it's in black writing, maybe you convert that to white writing. That could be one variation right there. Maybe you add in a different graphic to it. Maybe you add in a slightly different phrase. But what that means is that design in that niche is being bought by people, they like that style. So once you see that that starts to sell well, create up to 5 variations of it. Not 50 variations of it, but up to 5. Now just keep monitoring and seeing if that continues to expand and sell more and more. Alternatively, what if you want to create variations in different niches? So let's say you have a quote, for example, that can go into football, and then you can just change out the word. It can go into soccer, it can go into basketball, etc., etc. How many of these do you create and when do you create them? For this one as well, I don't recommend going crazy on this in the beginning because it can look like spam to the system. However, once you have your trust score, it is totally okay to create a bunch of different variations on here. I wouldn't go absolutely nuts and create 100 or 200 different variations. However, if you have a great design that you could put into different niches that are completely separate, feel free to do that and make variations that way. The thing to keep in mind is that once you have your trust score, Teespring is going to be marketing and putting your items in the marketplace completely individually. So someone who's looking for a soccer shirt may find that great quote and like it. And then someone else completely different may be looking for a football shirt, find that quote and like it for football. So that totally works, and I recommend doing that once you have your trust score. Number 3 is kind of a staple question that I get all the time, and this is, do I need to use paid advertising? The short answer, very quick here, is no, I do not recommend using paid advertising, not on Instagram, not on Google, not on Facebook, not on Pinterest, not any paid advertising at all. If you guys are newer to this channel or you haven't seen the other videos where I'm talking about this, I always recommend using completely free, organic, hashtag-driven marketing on Instagram. This is a video in itself, and I have multiple videos on it, so I'll link up a video that you can click. I'll also put it down in the description if you need that one as well. Number 4, how do you know if someone has already uploaded the design that you're considering, and if you're afraid of copyright, how do you know that you're not going to upload the same design? My recommendation for you is two-part here. So one, do a quick Google search for that phrase or the design, try to describe it, see if you can find what's already out there and be sure not to copy that exactly. And 2, do the same search on Teespring Marketplace. Now, if you're uploading to other platforms, other print-on-demand platforms, do the same search on their platform as well to make sure that you can find anything that is similar and make sure that you are not copying it exactly or even too close where they could report you as a copycat and your design will be removed. The way that the policy works on Teespring is essentially first come, first serve. So if you upload the design first to the Teespring platform, if anyone comes along and copies it or even copies it too close, you can report them if they don't catch it automatically and have that person removed. Now, the copycat who copies the design will have their design removed from the platform and their trust score will be negatively impacted. So make sure that you are never copying anyone's design. So do a quick search beforehand to make sure that you're not getting too close to their design. I'll talk about this later in this video in another point, but as long as you are adding in graphics, you are changing the fonts, you're changing the colors, making the design custom to your own, then you will not be infringing on their copyright that they own by uploading it first. Now, I want to be clear, I'm not saying copy people's design. I'm just saying make sure that you are far enough away from their design and putting in enough individual unique features to your design that it's not a copy of theirs. Number 5, this is a staple question as well, and that is, what is the Teespring Trust Score? So quickly, just to go through this, a Teespring Trust Score is essentially a filter that Teespring has put in on their system. So anyone who just signs up for a Teespring account and starts creating designs, their designs don't get shown on the marketplace. Their designs don't get all of Teespring's marketing until they prove themselves and essentially build up trust from Teespring. The way they do that is by getting at least one, really between 2 and 10 sales on their account themselves. So if you are a new seller, you have to get 2 to 10 sales on your account before you get your trust score, and then you start showing up in the Teespring Marketplace and getting all of their free marketing on your designs. Number 6 is the second part to this question, and that is, once I get those 2 to 10 sales on my account, how soon until the trust score kicks in? When am I gonna start showing up in the marketplace? When am I gonna start getting all the organic views from Teespring doing the marketing on my designs? There is no published answer on this. There's no public answer from Teespring. However, I've gathered from my experience that it's somewhere around 1 month. That's kind of the time frame that I would give yourself from when you've got those sales to just keep an eye on your analytics, watch as the views start to go up. It's typically about 1 month's time. Number 7 is part 3, because this is such an important question. How do you know when your trust score has officially kicked in? Well, the short answer is you don't know officially because it's an internal metric. It's not something we can check on our profile. The things to look for, however, are to go to the marketplace, search for your design. If you can find it in the marketplace, that is a great sign that you have your trust score. And the second thing is you can go over to your analytics and you can switch it from sales to views. And you can see as the views start to climb, the organic views, if you're not doing any marketing yourself, you can see that that's all Teespring marketing for you. Number 8, I get this question all the time, and that is, how many niche specific storefronts do you need? And really, what is the strategy? Why are we creating those niche storefronts? So without getting into too much detail, because as I said before, I have another video that goes over this step by step. However, the point of creating a niche specific storefront is so that you can take that link and you can put it on a social media profile, specifically Instagram. Then you can use niche specific hashtags on your posts as you post on the Instagram page and drive traffic over to your Teespring niche specific storefront. In the beginning, as we were talking about, before you have a trust score, when you create designs, they're not going to be showing up in the marketplace. So how are you supposed to get those first few sales, those 2 to 10, to get your trust score and then show up in marketplace and get all of their marketing? It is to create multiple designs in a niche, put them in a storefront so you have one link, and then drive traffic over from Instagram. So the question I get here is, how many of those niche storefronts do I need? How many Instagram pages do I need? And the short answer here is you really just need one. You have to remember the purpose here. The purpose here is just to get 2 to 10 sales, then your trust score kicks in, and then Teespring will be marketing all of your designs individually. So once you get your trust score, Teespring will be doing the marketing on all your designs individually, on their marketplace and externally. So you don't need to use storefronts anymore. So with that said, the answer really here is you only need one niche specific storefront and one Instagram page for it to drive traffic to get those 2 to 10 sales. However, for all of you guys who are advanced or you want to make this process go faster or bigger and get more traffic, you can create multiple niche storefronts. You can actually create as many as you want, and then you have to create new Instagram pages for each of them and then just do the same process. So essentially, the more you create, the more traffic you're going to be driving to your account, the more sales you will be getting. However, for the purpose of creating a niche storefront and a niche Instagram page, you only need one, and the purpose here is just to get 2 to 10 sales so that you get your trust score and they start doing the marketing on all your designs individually. Number 9, can you put your designs that you upload to Teespring on other print-on-demand sites at the same time? Yes, the short answer is absolutely yes. The 3 big sites I'm always recommending are Teespring, Merch by Amazon, and Redbubble. all three of them are completely non-exclusive. So if you create your design, you can upload it to all three of them individually. They have 3 different marketplaces and typically 3 different clienteles. So someone who's coming onto Redbubble doesn't typically go onto Teespring or Merch by Amazon, and for all the others. So you can upload your same design to all 3 of them and basically just triple your traffic. Number 10, how do you know if a design, a phrase, a word is copyrighted on clothing and if you can use it or not in a design? This is a really good question and an important one because it brings in the legal side of creating designs. So there's really 2 ways that you can do this. So if you're thinking of creating a design that has words or a phrase in it and you're not sure if that's copyrighted or protected, you can go to tmsearch.uspto.gov and then you can go just do a basic search, type in the word or phrase, and then 1, make sure that it is live, and 2, make sure that it is on clothing. If that word or phrase is live and on clothing, that means it is protected and I do not recommend using it. Now, if you do use it, then the system, when you upload it to Teespring or the other sites, may or may not catch it. However, the person that owns that copyright or that protection can go in and report you and take you down at any time. Now, unless you're infringing on something major, this is not often going to happen, but I always recommend being on the safe side of it. So if you're going to use words or phrase and it's not something that you came up with yourself, you're not sure if it's protected, go do that search at tmsearch.uspto.gov and find out there. The second way that you can do this is by using Merch Informer's tool. They have a trademark search, so it's going to check everything, highlight it as you're writing it out. However, this is not specifically for Teespring. This is more for Merch by Amazon. But if you're going to be uploading the same designs on Teespring as Merch by Amazon, if you're not sure if it's copyrighted, just upload it to Merch by Amazon first. Use Merch Informer's tool if you have a subscription, and it'll tell you everything in that listing if it's copyrighted. And it references basically the TM search site, and it references it in real time. So if you do it there on Merch by Amazon first, then you'll know for Teespring. But those are the 2 ways you can check if you're not sure if that word or phrase is copyright or trademark protected on clothing. Number 11, this is a question that you probably know the answer to by now, but it's a very common question, and that is someone uploads their design to Teespring and they can't find it in the marketplace. You guys probably know the answer to why you can't find it in the marketplace yet, and the answer is because you don't have a trust score yet. So if you are a new account, you haven't sold 2 to 10 shirts, and you haven't given it a month after that for it really to kick in, you're likely not going to find your designs in the marketplace at all. So that's why I recommend creating the storefront and getting the link there to share your designs. Number 12, this is for people who have been on Teespring for a while. You may have noticed that there was a edit section for the listings and you could actually add in tags to that design. Well, that feature is actually going away. Teespring behind the scenes is removing the tags feature. I'm not sure how far along they are on this, if they've done it to all accounts yet, but that's what they're in the process of doing. So you won't be able to manually add tags to your designs anymore. However, instead of that, they're going to be referencing your title and your description of your design to see what the tags and keywords should be. With that said, make sure that you're putting in proper tags and telling Teespring what your design is about in the title and in the description. Number 13, should you be putting your brand or logo in your design somewhere, maybe in the bottom corner? The short answer here is for the vast majority of people, no, this is not a good idea because it's going to limit your audience of who's buying your designs. Now allow me to explain this because it is pretty important. For the vast majority of buyers who are buying designs, they're going to be buying a design because they like what's on that shirt, they like how it feels, they like it as a gift for someone, it's relevant. That's going to happen far more than people are buying a shirt because of the brand that made it. For the situation where people are buying the shirt because of the brand that made it, that is going to be for the really high tier clothing companies, not us who are selling print on demand. It's just the truth. These big clothing companies spend millions and sometimes billions of dollars in ad campaigns to build up their logo and their brand. They're not building up the designs. They're building up the logo and the brand so they can place that on any design and someone's buying the shirt for the logo and the brand. Whatever's on the design is just cool because it's associated with that logo and that brand. For us in print on demand, we are not taking this strategy at all. We don't have millions and billions to spend on ad campaigns to build up brand loyalty and brand credibility. So we are just creating it for the design. They may like the design that you've created on the shirt and it feels good to them, but then they see your brand or your logo and they don't know who you are, they're not loyal, they don't know what you stand for, so they don't want that on the shirt, so they end up just not buying it. So proceed with caution on that. I really don't recommend putting your brand or logo in your designs because it's going to limit your audience of who's going to be buying. Number 14, very simple question. How do you get your storefront link? This can be a little bit challenging for people who are new to Teespring, but once you create your storefront and you're ready to create the link to put on your Instagram page, how do you get that link? Well, you can't get it from editor. You actually go through to edit your storefront, you do all that, That's not the link you want up top. You actually have to click View Storefront. Once you click that, then you can copy the link up top, and that is the actual live link. Now, for those of you who have seen tutorials on this channel, you see that I usually take this link and put it through bit.ly. It basically just allows you to shorten the link completely for free, and you can customize the tail end so it looks something easier for people to click on instead of teespring.com/stores/ all this extra stuff that you really don't want to put in your Instagram link. So as a bonus, once you get that link from your Teespring storefront, you can then put it through bit.ly, make it shorter, customize it completely free, and then put that bit.ly link in your Instagram bio. And the last question is, how many designs do you need to create and upload on Teespring to be successful? How many do you need in a niche storefront? How many do you need total before your trust score and after your trust score? So this should cover a lot right here. I'll be quick to it and make sure not to waste your time. When you're creating a niche specific storefront, make sure you have at least 8 to 12 designs in that niche specific storefront before you go get the link and create the Instagram page to start advertising it. This will make sure that your storefront actually looks full when people come over from Instagram and they go and look at your designs. You don't want an empty storefront. You can go up to really as many as you want in a niche specific storefront. Just make sure you have at least 8 to 12 before you start marketing that storefront. Now, the other part to the question is, how many designs should you aim for on your total Teespring account? Knowing that once you get those first 2 to 10 sales from your niche storefront, you're going to have your trust score, and Teespring will start adding all of your designs individually to their marketplace and marketing all of your designs individually externally. So this totally becomes up to you. The sky is the limit. The more designs that you can create that are quality designs and upload them to Teespring, the absolute better, because you're going to have more lines in the water, more in the marketplace, more on their external marketing, just more chances for you to get traffic and get sales. Now, for those of you starting out who have 0 designs, I recommend setting your goal at least 50 different designs. Get those uploaded to Teespring and then get those uploaded to Redbubble and Merch by Amazon, the same 50 designs. Now that should be enough for you to feel accomplished, feel like you've done enough on Teespring to get started, where you can actually stop and take a look at your accounts and start watching kind of the organic traffic come in from your trust score and people seeing your designs. However, I would not stop there. Once you've got past the comfortable stage of sitting back and kind of seeing that you've done the first kind of barrier to entry, you've got your trust score built and you're starting to see some organic sales come through, then I would set your next goal to at least a few hundred designs. I know that sounds like a lot, but if you have a good design tool, then you can kind of knock these out pretty quickly. To give you guys an example of how many you can really create, anywhere from 5 to 15 a day is great. In my peak, I was creating and uploading 50 designs per day. So don't be fooled. If you have a great design tool, don't spend time on nitty-gritty stuff, just pump out great designs. Now, it definitely goes without saying, but the goal also means that those designs you uploaded to Teespring, you want to also have those same designs uploaded to Redbubble and Merch by Amazon. Once you have a few hundred designs on Teespring, Merch by Amazon, and Redbubble, you will be doing pretty well financially. You'll be seeing a lot of organic traffic coming through from all of their marketing and consistent sales. If you personally need more income than this, then you can continue to raise that goal to 1,000 or more designs on each one of these accounts. The beauty to print on demand is you can scale it as high as you want without bringing on other employees. All the work comes down to you. If you have a good design tool and you spend the time creating and uploading the designs to the sites, that's all there is to it. All these sites do everything else for you, so you can scale without having to worry about bringing on other people. Guys, that's it for this video. Hopefully these 15 things leave you with some good, valuable takeaways. I'll link up some other helpful videos that'll go into some more detail. However, if you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know in the comments. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll be seeing you guys in the next video.